I should perhaps adopt your usual start, that of giving thanks to God for the opportunity, in my case, to serve the wonderful people of St. Kitts and Nevis as the country's third Prime Minister. And I also want to thank the residents and citizens for their continued prayers, their love and support for me and the other members of the Team Unity administration and movement. I pledge as leader and as Prime Minister of the country, with the grace of God, to always do the very best I can for my beloved people and country. Indeed, I have no other country to which I owe allegiance, not Dominica, not Antigua and Barbuda. My only allegiance is to the people and country of St. Kitts and Nevis, and they will get the best of all that I have. I want perhaps to continue, if I may, on one of the important matter which raised the saga of the last couple of days, just over a week, and the matter of the so-called investors to our shore wanting to conquer the cannabis industry and our people, to use a word that they have popularized, is one that brings into sharp contrast the very productive Team Unity government working and delivering for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis on one hand, and on the other we see the shenanigans of the political have-beens who are working hard to destroy the good name of St. Kitts and Nevis. And indeed, if they were to have their way, they would, as they have indicated over the last week or so, sell out the patrimony of our people, and they would encourage investors of a certain ilk who take fondness in disgracing and belittling our people. The saga of the so-called investors who were invited here and paraded around on the tarmac and elsewhere by Denzel Douglas continues to be a very sad one. People are concerned that in the twilight of his political end time, Denzel Douglas would stoop so low as to associate with persons who are uncouth to the extreme and unruly, and he would purport to bring them and to present them to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis as persons with whom we should do business. In their own words, they came to St. Kitts to conquer us. They failed miserably in conquering the spirit, the pride, and the dignity of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, who across the political divide condemned the profanity, the threats, and the nastiness associated with the dubious characters with whom Denzel Douglas continues to be associated with. Something decidedly unpatriotic welled up in the opposition elements during the course of last week, and I am grateful that it was repelled forcibly by the patriotic fervor and zeal of the well-meaning citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. I want to make the further point and to make it very clear from the outset that St. Kitts and Nevis is a well-governed country with a healthy respect for the rule of law and our Constitution. We rank number 1 in the OECS, number 2 in the Caribbean, and number 30 among the best performing countries in the world on the Rule of Law Index. This is a remarkable achievement which must never take for granted. The rule of law means that all persons are subject to our laws. All include the rich billionaires and the poor penniless resident wherever they are found in our jurisdiction. Over the last week or so, the rule of law, in my view, was tested unnecessarily by indecent, ill-mannered, and discreditable investors who were aided and abetted by the opposition party. Our people ought to be commended, and I thank the citizens for rejecting that low, dirty politics being pursued by the Denzel Douglas Labour Party and his foreign partners. On the other hand, I commend the people on their patriotic zeal and an excellent show of solidarity with their country. I commend the police officers, of course, the officers of the Customs and Excise Department, our Director of Public Prosecution, and our magistracy, and all others for the competent way in which they handled the sordid matter of the interlopers, which brought international media attention to St. Kitts and Nevis. The Director of Public Prosecution has provided the factual matrix leading to the arrest and the charging at what many view as impostors and reprobates who wanted, in their words, to conquer our people, our land, and our marijuana industry. So I will not go over those facts again. I must say, however, that the pathetic efforts of the Douglas Party and the unpatriotic crew to disregard our laws and to side with miscreants against our people must continue to be condemned by all persons of goodwill. Denzel Douglas, for all his 30-plus years in politics, has exercised extremely poor judgment on the choice of persons who he chose to bring and to partner with in St. Kitts and Nevis. And these unsavory characters remind us of the reproach and shame that had been brought to our country in the days when he had a partnership with Alazira Mogadam and Dr. Arthur Porter. And he reminds us too of that sad period in 2014 when the FinCEN advisory was issued and the U.S. government indicated that the Douglas administration was harboring illicit actors. Of course, we thought that that was a new low and our country could go no lower with that leader. But in May 2014, the U.S. government itself, the Canadian government on that occasion would again undertake to bring the heavy hand in bringing to an end the visa-free access which we had with Canada for all of my lifetime. And again, the reason was Denzel Douglas was found wanting as he was over the last couple of weeks.